Hey everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and I'm here with another review roundup video. This time I'm going to be looking at a whole host of games on Xbox and Nintendo Switch that I've been playing over the last couple of weeks. Now, before I get into it, I just want to shout out that I'm going to be doing some reviews for a handful of cloud streaming services, including Boosteroid, who've been kind enough to partner up with me to give me some access, and also Amazon Luna, which you can see on screen right now. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel for them. They'll be coming very, very soon. But let's jump into this week's games. Okay, first up is probably one of the weirdest games I've played in a long time, and this is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Definitive Edition. Now, this released onto Xbox on the 5th of March 2024 for Xbox Series X and S consoles, so this is next gen only on Xbox. Now, it's published by Limited Run Games, and this is basically a re-release of a game that came out back in like the 1993-1994 period on Windows and 3DO. And I'm not sure why you would ever want to re-release this game. It's one of the worst games of all times. Like, it was destroyed by critics and people who played this back when it came out. It's a mix between like visual novel, FMV, sort of story-based game about these two people that are sort of trying to get together. They're both single. They're called like John and Jane, and they're basically being pressured by their parents to go out and get dates. And the aim of the game is to obviously get them together. And this leads into a cringy, badly written, badly acted, badly narrated section of games, and you'd think this was like an FMV game, like Night Stalker and stuff like that. But actually, outside of like the intro videos and stuff like that, the majority of it is played out in sort of still images on what looks like a dodgy DVD menu where you pick your choices to decide how it's going to go. Now, gameplay is very simple. Like I say, you just make your choices, and it pushes the story along. It's it's dreadful. It's so bad. I love the fact that they've re-released this. I love the fact that they've made the effort to improve it, like improve the visuals and stuff like that. With like 4K restorations and stuff. I love that they've added like this dungeon crawler mini game where you run around throwing plungers at the character's boss from the main game, which allows you to unlock like secrets with like behind the scenes videos and stuff like that, unreleased, like unused, like images from the original game and stuff. And it also has a unlockable like documentary and sort of audio commentary of the game by the main woman, who I believe was a wrestler for Glow back in the day as well. Now, it's stupid. It does have like progression save, and you can then pick and choose which scenes you want to resuffer. I wouldn't recommend it if you want in a good time, but if you want to see like how weird and wonderful game it was, and you've got to think this came out. I'm sure this came out after Night Stalker, so why the whole game isn't FMV, I don't know, but they've done a great job of like making this a worthwhile addition to gaming history. It's awful in terms of the actual game sucks, but they have added enough content here with the like the documentary stuff, the extra little mini game and stuff like that to justify giving it a whirl. And if you've never played it, morbid curiosity may make you want to sort of try it. I mean, just look, it's like one of the worst game covers I've ever seen. It's cringy. It's got a lot of stereotypical sort of stuff that you wouldn't get away with nowadays in terms of like offensiveness and stuff. Like, it's very sexualized to the women and stuff like that. There's times where men are trying to kill women because they won't date them and stuff. It's very odd, very weird and bizarre, but it's a weird and wonderful trip through video gaming history. Now, if you buy this on Xbox, it's priced at £16.74. It's also available on Switch, on PlayStation, and on PC as well. So this is a weird one. where I wouldn't recommend it for the actual game because the game itself sucks. I'd recommend it for just that historical sort of significance of it, plus all of the like additional things you can unlock from playing the game. But overall, it's a weird little like narrative FMV meets visual novel game. And you know what I'm like for these sort of games. I love trying the weird and the wonderful. Okay, next up we have Violet Wisteria. Now, this released on the 13th of March 2024, developed by Canny Pro Games and published by East Asia Soft Limited, who are kind of sent me a copy on Xbox. Now, this one's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, and it's optimized for Series X and S consoles with 4K resolution and 60 FPS. Now, this is a sort of action platformer game based and like designed to be like those old school Japanese fantasy platformers from the 80s and early 90s. And you basically play the role as this magical sword wielding heroine, and you play as Wisteria Asagiri, and she's basically on a quest to save Earth, the higher realm, and the underrealms from this dark wizard. Now, this is like a side-scrolling action platformer, which uses a cool like tri-color attack system. Each enemy they have like a color above them or like hinted on them, depending on if you put the hints on or off. And you basically have to flick between your weapons to make sure you're using the right one to kill them. So, like if they've got red eyes, you need to use a certain attack or a certain like magic, like a ranged magic on them and stuff like that. If you don't, you can't kill them. Now, the enemy colours are randomised as well, so if you do die on a stage and you respawn, they'll change as well. And there's 8 stages to work your way through with a like final boss battle. Now, you'll battle your way through a whole host of different environments, very like fantasy in their sort of style, and the graphics and the sound on this look really old school retro, especially with the UI and stuff. The gameplay itself, I liked. I liked the tricolor system. The one thing I didn't like about it was the like collision detection on jumping. I died way too many times trying to get over very simple ledges and stuff because I'd jump and I'd just sort of like fall to my death over and over, and it would drive me absolutely insane. Now, other than that, though, the core gameplay isn't bad. There's a lot of cool different stages, a lot of cool enemy types, different bosses to fight, and stuff like that. It's not bad. Like I say, just a little janky on like the jump landing. Now on Xbox, it's priced at £12.49 normally. It's also on sale at launch for £11.24 at time of recording, so you can pick it up at a discount. And they've also ported it over to PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. Okay, next up is Electrician Simulator. Now, I played this on Switch. It's also available on PC, Xbox, everywhere. It's developed by Take It Studio and published by Gaming Factory and Ultimate Games, who were kind of to send me a copy. Now, if you haven't guessed it from the name, this is a simulation game where you take the role as a electrician setting up his own business out of his garage. Now, you'll create your business, like your name and your logo and stuff like that, and then get to work. So there's a whole host of missions and jobs to do in this game, from like installing sockets, repairing broken devices, wiring and stuff like that. And you'll either be in other people's buildings and stuff completing the work, or you'll be working out of your garage in your little workbench in your workshop. Now, one thing I did like about this game is it was quite realistic in terms of like the things you'd have to do. Now, it's probably not as in depth as if you were a real electrician, but like it felt very accurate in how it was portraying like the jobs and stuff, and like how you were having to unscrew everything and rewire everything and stuff like that. Sometimes the wiring was quite complex as well. It took a bit of getting used to, especially in like the sections where you've only got a torch as well because of power being out and stuff, which I thought was really cool. Now, collecting XP from tasks helps you get more items and stuff like that as well by leveling up, which allows you to then do more difficult work and jobs. You can also improve your garage by like fixing it up, putting things out like lights and TVs and stuff on the walls. It doesn't really make a huge difference. It just improves like your environment to look at, so you sort of see the gains of your like work, I suppose. And it's pretty good. I had a lot of fun playing it. It only takes about 4 hours to get through the story mode, and in terms of story, it's as bare bones as possible. It's a game about like fixing lights and circuits and stuff like that, and wiring and testing devices and stuff. You're not going to get like a deep like RPG-esque storyline. But what it does with what it provides is really good. Like it's one of the better simulator games I've played recently. The UI is pretty slick and easy to use. It works well on the Switch controls. Works quite well as well, performance-wise. The audio is there's not much to the audio. It's just that sort of generic simulator-esque background music and stuff like that. It is quite repetitive though. You will sort of see the same thing over and over. It's very same as like Power Wash Simulator and stuff like that. And I love those types of games, but they do get repetitive after a while. It is just life though. Um, there's also DLC now available for the game as well, which is like based on smart devices, which you can pick up for an additional fee. And that adds like new missions to complete with new houses and stuff, and all these like smart devices and alarms and everything to deal with. So if you're into your simulator games, this one is pretty decent. Graphically, it looks nice. The sort of accuracy of how it works and like the intricacy of using the tools and stuff is really cool. So I highly recommend this one over other simulator games I've played recently. Okay, and last up is Wartales. Now, this released onto Xbox on the 31st of October 2023, developed and published by Shiro Games, and I was looking to present a copy for this as well. Now, don't take my word on this one though, guys. It's on Xbox Game Pass as well. So you can jump in and play this on Game Pass. It's Xbox Play Anywhere as well, or you can purchase it for $33.49. Now, this is a sort of fantasy RPG, and it's also got online like co-op gameplay for up to 4 players. Now, this sees you basically overseeing a band of mercenaries across these like open environments in like a sort of top-down sort of visual style, like isometric, slightly zoomed out. You tell them where to go. Now you'll explore the beautiful environments, the countrysides and stuff like that, the mountains. You'll visit villages, you'll visit camps and stuff like that, cities. You'll take on quests and side quests for people, and you'll also build up your group of mercenaries to the point where you've got tens of them at once. Now, each person that you've got will have their own sort of skill sets, weapon preferences, specializations, and stuff like that. And when you go into combat, it becomes turn based on like a grid based sort of system. And I really enjoyed this. It was interesting. It takes a little bit to get used to, and eventually you'll be trying not to get your companions killed because you'll have grown attached to them. But while the story is just the sort of mundane sort of fantasy style of it, the game's gorgeous. It's violent as well as lots of blood and gore. The sort of building up your faction as such, your mercenary group, is the core bit of this game I absolutely love. Getting to have like create all these different characters and bring them with you and stuff. It's really, really fun. And I do like in the combat that it's not like like in Final Fantasy and other sort of turn-based RPG games. It's like this character, then this enemy, this character, this character, this character, etc. It's more like your team's turn to move, then an enemy, your team's turn, then an enemy. So you can really sort of plan your attacks with all your characters at once. So to sort of like make sure this character goes first, then this one, then this one. And it doesn't sort of mess you up like some of the other sort of RPG games do. Now, This is really fun. I recommend playing it with your friends on Xbox Game Pass. We might even do a stream of it soon as well. It's going to take up tons of your time. There's so much content to be found here. It's also available on PC Game Pass as well, and other platforms. Like say you can play it on Steam and other systems as well. But it's one of those games you can keep playing and playing and playing. There's so much to see and do. There's huge areas to explore, and like I say, you'll slowly sort of level up as you progress. There's voice acting. That's not perfect, but it doesn't. It's not bad at all. It's very, very fun and probably even more fun with friends. But anyway, guys, this is all the games I've been playing for this review roundup. Which one is your favourite? I really enjoyed Wartales, and I loved the weirdness that was the Plumbers game. But let me know in the comments down below which of the four is your favourites. Are there any you're going to pick up? Any you think I should give a try that I haven't covered in this video? Let me know and I'll do my best to cover them in future review videos. But hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon for more gaming content, guys. Bye for now.